House come to order. Members, proceed to your seats. Members, please rise for the invocation delivered by Dr. Jeff Eaton, Hope Community Church of Frankfort, Kentucky, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thanks for your service. Be safe going home, please. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer. We do it on the first Friday with you. I bookend it with the last Friday with you. And for those who wish, let's say it together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the glory forever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk will sound the chimes. Members, indicate your presence. Clerk will take the roll. Being 95 members indicating their presence, quorum is declared and the House is ready to proceed. Next order of business, the excuse of absent members. Gentleman from Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the absent members be excused in accordance with the House rules.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules for the purpose of allowing members to co-sponsor bills and resolutions or to submit vote modifications and have filed the proper papers with the clerk to do so.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order of business is the approval of the journal. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, the Clerk of the Senate.
Chair recognizes the Clerk of the Senate.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, the Senate has passed House Bill 781 and is returning same to this honorable body. The Senate has also passed House Bills 4, 10, 78, 139, and 398 with letter and respectfully request concurrence of this honorable body.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the journal from Thursday, March 26, 2026 be approved.
Without objection, the journal from Thursday, March 26, 2026 is approved. Next order of business is second reading of bills. Clerk, please report.
House Resolution 126, Representative Heverin, a resolution urging the federal government to provide states with increased flexibility to design and test innovative approaches that reduce barriers to employment and promote economic self-sufficiency among individuals and families receiving public assistance. Senate Bill 10 with House Floor Amendment 1 and 2, the title amendment, Senator McDaniel. An act proposing to amend Section 77 and 240 of the Constitution of Kentucky relating to limiting the governor's ability to grant pardons and commute sentences. Senate Bill 52 with House Committee Substitute 1 and House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment, Senator Rawlings, an act relating to ensuring fair permitting and licensing practices. Senate Bill 68 with House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1 and 2, the title amendment, Senator Bledsoe, an act relating to the Kentucky Horse Park. Senate Bill 127, Senator Higdon, an act relating to actuarial cost of annual leave payments in the teacher's retirement system. Senate Bill 136 with House Committee Substitute 1 and House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment, Senator Funky Frommeyer, an act relating to unemployment insurance. Senate Bill 156 with House Floor Amendments 1 and 2, Senator Rocky Adams, an act relating to child marriage. Senate Bill 249, Senator Wheeler, an act relating to workforce development and declaring an emergency. And Senate Bill 251, with House Floor Amendment 1, Senator West, an act relating to the Department of Corrections.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next order of business is report of committees. Please report.
The Appropriations and Revenue Committee has met and reports Senate Bill 8 should pass to rules with House Committee Substitute 2, an act relating to public utilities and declaring an emergency. Senate Bill 90 should pass to rules with House Committee Substitute 1 and House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment, an act relating to the Behavioral Health Conditional Dismissal Program. And Senate Bill 197 with House Committee Substitute 1 and House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment, should pass to rules, an act relating to economic development and declaring an emergency.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Senate Bill 8, Senate Bill 90, Senate Bill 197 have received two previous readings. It is ordered in the possession of the Rules Committee for further action. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Bullock 49, the Chair of the Enrollment Committee, for an Enrollment Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Enrollment Committee has met and found the following bills to be in order and ready for your signature. House Bill 781 and Senate Bills 57, Senate Bill 278, Senate Bill 17, Senate Bill 153, and Senate Bill 222.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the committee's early work this morning.
You're welcome, sir.
Chair's about to sign Senate Bill or House Bill 781. Chair's about to sign Senate Bill 57. Chair's about to sign Senate Bill 278. Chair's about to sign Senate Bill 17. Chair's about to sign Senate Bill 153. Thank you. Next order of business, the orders of the day. Chair's about to sign Senate Bill 222. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 8, Senate Bill 90, and Senate Bill 39 be taken from the Committee on Rules and placed in the orders of the day.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 39 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion is made and seconded that Senate Bill 39 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 39, an act relating to fishing in privately owned lakes and ponds. Senator Boswell.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Lincoln for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Lincoln for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would you have the clerk please report House Committee Substitute 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 39.
Gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll describe the committee substitute to you. Over the years, there have been varying interpretations of what a part of Section 1, subsection 4 means about being able to hunt on your own land or fish on your own land and be license exempt. There are two older Attorney General opinions that interpret this as you must live on the property that you own in order to be license exempt from that. This correction changes that because hunters and anglers don't agree with that. We've always felt that if you live in Kentucky and you own land anywhere in this state, you should be able to hunt on it and be license exempt. That is what that section does, is changes that to make it very clear. Section 1, subsection 5 says that a landowner of a private lake or pond is exempt from possession, size, and creel limits. The reason for this is because if a pond gets overstocked or a lake gets overstocked, they are not allowed to remove those fish. We have pictures of them having to leave them on the bank to die. So we are saying that you can take those, you can eat those, or you can move them to another pond to transport them, whatever you'd like to do. It also allows for the stocking in private lakes and ponds of Florida bass or F1 bass. It also expands that to the department to give them the option if they would like to put those in department-owned lakes. Subsection 2 says that Section 2, subsection 7B says the intentional release of F1 or Florida bass into public waterways is strictly prohibited. Section 3, subsection 5 allows for nocturnal hunting of beavers and directs the department to set regulations for that. Section 3, subsection 6 allows for night hunting of bobcats and clarifies the equipment that may be used for hunting those animals at night. It does not limit it. It allows the department to expand on it how they see fit. Subsection 8 of Section 5 creates a fine of up to $10,000 for the intentional release of F1 or Florida bass into public waterways. The reason for this is there was concern that there was no mechanism for enforcement on this if it was supposed to be for public lakes and ponds, so a judge can decide on what the penalty would be depending on how heinous the crime is with that. Section 6, subsection 3C adds additional requirements to commission members. They must be an experienced hunter, fisherman, trapper, or biologist. Thank you, thank you there, gentleman from Wayne. Yeah, that's right. I've served with him so long in Pulaski, I can't remember where he's from. Outside of that, there's additional requirements to the head commissioner of 10 years experience, 10 years license requirement. And with that, Mr. Speaker, that's really all the House Committee Sub does. So with that, I would move for adoption of House Committee Substitute 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I need to ask the clerk to call House Floor Amendment 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 39.
Gentleman from Lincoln.
This is a very small correction. There was one line that left out private in front of lakes and ponds, and so I'm going to ask that we add that in House Floor Amendment 1. So, Mr. Speaker, I would move for adoption of House Floor Amendment 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion of Floor Amendment 1? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Lincoln.
Mr. Speaker, I'd ask the clerk to call House Floor Amendment 4.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 4 to Senate Bill 39.
Gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment just says that a private lake or pond that you are stocking F1 bass in cannot be located in a 100-year floodplain. In case then those lower lying areas that pond gets flooded, the fish would then go out into the public waterways. So that's what this amendment does. With that, I'd move for adoption of House Floor Amendment 4.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 4. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 4 is adopted. Gentleman from Lincoln.
Mr. Speaker, with that, I would move for passage of Senate Bill 39 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1, House Floor Amendment 4.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 33.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask the clerk to report House Floor Amendment 2, please.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 39.
Gentleman from Jefferson 33.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to tell the body this is the Speaker's amendment, and what this bill, I didn't want to report it to you because you already knew, Mr. Speaker. So what this bill does is, one of the things this bill does, or the regulations do, I should say, were to ban wake boats too broadly. And so that shouldn't be done. What we want to do is have a more considered approach. And what this does, this amendment does, it allows us the time to have a more considered approach on wake boats. And so with that, Mr. Speaker, I move adoption of House Floor Amendment 2.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 2. I probably could have said it better myself. Is there any discussion on the floor amendment? Lady from Jefferson 41.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, gentlemen. I just have a question. A constituent had contacted me, maybe about wake boats, but I'm not sure because I'm not familiar, about boats going past their dock really fast and the wake almost knocking her grandkids off the dock. And she wanted something to have them go a little bit slower in areas that were highly populated with docks. Does this have anything to do with that issue? Because I don't know anything about wake boats and boats or anything.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So what we're wanting to do here is to take all those things into consideration, and what the administration what the regulation does is ban them all. So it's important for not just for fish and wildlife, but for tourism. And so we need a much more considered approach. Those types of things will be brought into bear with the discussion that it should happen over the next year.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, gentlemen.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 2. Those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 2 is adopted. Gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a hunter, as a fisherman, I know how aggravating it can be with some wake boats, but I do understand the issue that with tourism and everything, and that we do need to take a more subtle approach, I guess, at it. But with that, Mr. Speaker, I would move for passage of Senate Bill 39, as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1, House Floor Amendment 2, and House Floor Amendment 4.
Question before the body. It's passage of Senate Bill 39 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1, House Floor Amendment 2, and House Floor Amendment 4. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 90 members voting aye, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 39 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1, House Floor Amendment 2, and House Floor Amendment 4 is passed. Gentleman from Lincoln.
Mr. Speaker, I would ask the clerk to call House Committee Amendment 1 the title amendment.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment to Senate Bill 39.
Gentleman from Lincoln.
Move for adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Lincoln.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, please have the clerk report the conference committee report on Senate Bill 245.
Clerk, please report.
The Conference Committee on Senate Bill 245 has met and provided in the rules of the House and Senate, and hereby reports that they cannot agree.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The chair hereby appoints the same members to the Free Conference Committee report that were members of the Conference Committee report. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 245 be taken from the Committee on Rules and placed in the orders of the day.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 245 be taken from the orders of the day for action on the Free Conference Committee report.
Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 245, an act relating to tobacco, nicotine, or vapor product licensure and declaring an emergency.
Lady from Davis.
Well, Mr. Speaker, please have the clerk report the Free Conference Committee report on 245.
Clerk, please report.
The Free Conference Committee on Senate Bill 245 has met as provided in the rules of the House and Senate and hereby reports that Senate Committee Substitute is accepted as well as House Floor Amendment 1.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move adoption of the Free Conference report on Senate Bill 245.
Motion is for the adoption of the Free Conference Committee report on Senate Bill 245. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Free Conference Committee report is adopted. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move for final passage of Senate Bill 245.
Motion is for final passage of Senate Bill 245. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 38 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just would like to request, I don't think it's come up on our screen yet, so I just wanted to make a note of that.
House stand at ease. Thank you, Lady Jefferson 38. It is now on the screen. Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 245 as amended by Free Conference Committee report. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote.
Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Means 78 members voting aye, no members voting nay. Senate Bill 245, as amended by Free Conference Committee report, is finally passed. Lady from Davis.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 97 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion is made and seconded that Senate Bill 97 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 97, an act relating to coverage for prosthesis and orthosis. Senator Girdler.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Edmondson 19 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Edmondson for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, and a happy birthday to you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, gentlemen.
I ask that the clerk please...
What did he say?
Carry on, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Ask the clerk please report House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 97.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 97.
Gentleman from Edmondson.
The House Committee Substitute removes language that would have been in conflict with the cost of frail law that was passed by this body 2 years ago. Just would have created a conflict there, and so we go back to the standard language that we passed in 2024. Would move adoption of the House Committee Substitute.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Edmondson.
Also ask that the clerk please report House Floor Amendment 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 97.
Gentleman from Edmondson.
House Floor Amendment 1 simply changes the effective date from January of 2028 to January of 2027. Would move adoption of House Floor Amendment 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion of the floor amendment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Edmondson.
Senate Bill 97 is the Kentucky version of the So Everybody Can Move Act, an initiative that has passed in 12 states and been introduced in 24 others. The goal of this bill is to expand existing orthotics and prosthetics insurance coverage to include devices designed specifically for physical activity. Most commercial insurance plans cover a device for general everyday use, but do not cover the activity-specific devices necessary for running, swimming, biking, hiking, and other activities. We heard from a young lady in the committee hearing who has broken most of the prosthetics that she has had because of the physical activity and the sports that she participates in. Without insurance coverage for these devices, many individuals cannot afford them, leaving them unable to safely participate in the activities they love. This bill would allow a patient with a prescription from the patient's licensed healthcare provider to receive up to 3 devices per affected limb per 3-year period for everyday use, as well as devices designed for specific activities. Legislation still requires a treating healthcare provider to determine that a device meets the medical needs of the patient before insurance coverage is required. Physical activity is critical for everyone from a physical and mental health standpoint, and Senate Bill 97 will help those experiencing limb loss or limb difference live healthy and active lifestyles here in the Commonwealth. Happy to answer any questions that members might have, but would move passage of Senate Bill 97 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 97 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1. Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just have a quick question.
He will yield.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentlemen, this is a great bill, and I really love it. Can you tell me, and you may not know, because it may apply to the individual insurance plans, but will there be co-pays for folks that need prosthesis, or will that be covered in entirety, since of course they're so necessary when someone needs a new limb?
Gentleman from Edmondson.
Lady, I believe that would be dependent on the terms of which plan was providing that coverage.
Lady
I'm
from
not
Jefferson.
100% sure of that, but I believe that would be the case.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, gentlemen.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 46 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the sponsor yield to a question, please?
He will yield.
Sponsor, do you happen to know how many states have now passed this legislation or pretty close to it?
Gentleman from Edmondson.
Yes, gentlemen, there are 12 states that have already adopted similar legislation to this, and again, 24 others that are considering the bill currently as well.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Thank you. May I speak on the bill?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to try to speak on this bill without getting emotional. It means a lot to me. Many of you know my work in golf, adaptive golf. Spent over 3 decades working in this area since I lost my arm at 28 years old. Had the pleasure of saving and inspiring many, many lives, people with disabilities. And in golf, we have a lot of people that run through prosthetic devices. Several years ago, shortly after I came here, had a game of golf with a prosthetic guy, and we started talking, and he started telling me about what insurance are starting to limit these things. This is a big deal for kids that have prosthetic devices. What we really try to get them to do is to be active, to overcome their disability, to do great things. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses. And when you get these kids out and they start doing miraculous things, and all the kids in their classrooms, in their neighborhoods are lifted up to areas that makes them much better in dealing with the challenges they deal with in their lives. Unfortunately, when you're growing, you go through different sets of prosthetic devices. These things are very expensive. And I couldn't understand why insurance companies were wanting to try to limit these when you don't have a good fitting device on somebody that's growing up with a disability. It's going to create more problems later on in life because you're going to wear the other side of your body out because it doesn't fit. So after we had that conversation with my prosthetic that was going on, I filed a bill here several years ago. It's basically this bill. Last year at NCSL, I'm walking down the street about ready to go into a restaurant, and I hear a gal holler at me. I turned around, I didn't know who it was. She was a legislator from Georgia. Said, Representative, probably can't say my name, but we passed your bill in a red state. I said, what? What are you talking about? The prosthetics orthotics bill. And not only that, I said, well, send me what you passed me, because I'd already walked away from it several years ago. I said, I'll file it again. And I waited till the last day this session to file it, which I did again. And Kentucky Prosthetics and Orthotics Association came to me, because I knew this was going to happen. When they walked in, I said, okay, let's go. We got to get this passed now because this is starting to spread across the states. And they said, oh, we already have it in the Senate. Senate Bill 97. And and a person majority's filed the bill, and it's moving. It's in 12 states now. It's about, hope to get it into 24. This is a great bill, and I know I've talked way too long already, but please join. Let's get a unanimous vote here, push this forward, get this done across the state, and if there's anything that I'd like to share with my colleagues in the minority, very, very difficult here at times, and sometimes you think it's very difficult to get anything done. You never know when something great's going to happen. So keep your head up, keep working. People are watching. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, gentlemen. Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 97 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1. Clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 32 for explanation of vote not to exceed 2 minutes.
Yes, so today I give my yes vote for a child. Before I was a teacher, we were in the gymnastics business, and we started a competition that still happens every year called the Winter Classic. And this year there was discussion about an athlete in the Winter Classic who had one arm and one leg missing. And because of the type of prosthesis, did I say that right? That she had, she was able to compete as a gymnast and was amazing. So this will impact many lives, and I know of at least one personally. Thank you.
Have all members voted? Clerk will take the roll. In 95 members voting aye, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 97 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1 is passed. Gentleman from Edmondson.
Move the clincher, Mr. Speaker.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 343 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 343 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 343, an act relating to the Department of Workers' Claims and declaring an emergency. Senator Wheeler.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Boyle 54 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Boyle for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 343 is a very simple bill that works to preserve what is considered by most administrative law practitioners to be the model workers' compensation administrative system for the United States. And the current system was set up in 1987, and a variation of Kentucky's system has been adopted in over 20 states because it functions so well, most recently Tennessee. It's fast, it's efficient, and most importantly, self-funded by those that use it through the special fund assessment. It's important to note that the legacy claims themselves are almost completely funded from an actuarial standpoint, and liability for these claims will decrease over time. And this means that the premium assessment will decrease substantially over time. This bill seeks to preserve an independent funding mechanism, funding for the administrative departments through a continuation of a reduced assessment. And the main purpose for this change is it keeps the Department of Workers' Claims from relying on general fund taxpayer dollars. Finally, Mr. Speaker, it restructures the Department of Workers' Claims by restoring its independence and allowing it to report directly to the governor regarding its budget use of funds. And this restores the original cabinet structure and removes a layer of unnecessary bureaucracy. It specifies that the structure of the Department of Workers' Claims will be headed by a commissioner who is appointed by the governor but confirmed by the Senate to ensure good candidates and independence. And it requires that the commissioner demonstrate competency in the areas of public administration, administrative law, and workers' compensation by requiring that they have at least 8 years of experience in the practice of workers' compensation. gives the commissioner control and supervision over appropriations and the employees of the department. And Mr. Speaker, I would move for passage of Senate Bill 343.
Question before the body's passage of Senate Bill 343. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 95 members voting aye, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 343 is passed. Gentleman from Boyle.
Move the clincher, Mr. Speaker.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 110 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its...
Motion is made and seconded that Senate Bill 110 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 110, an act relating to motor vehicles. Senator Howell.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from McGoffin 92 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from McGoffin for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 110 has been a collaborative effort by many groups, including our clerks, transportation cabinet, and other folks as well, as I mentioned as we go along. What it does, it will allow for electronic titles. Instead of paper titles, when you purchase a vehicle, they'll be electronic. You could still get a paper title, but it allows for the use of electronic titles. With that, Mr. Speaker, being the explanation of what the bill does, I know it's the bill in itself is 102 pages, but that's what the bill does. I would ask the clerk to report House Committee Sub 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 110.
Gentleman from McGoffin.
Mr. Speaker, House Committee Substitute 1 includes adding manufactured housing to be able to get the electronic liens, or titles, for mobile homes. It also has a provision in there that if you have a vehicle with a salvage title and you go to a car dealership and you buy a brand, let's say X brand, piece of equipment, a backup camera for your vehicle that requires to be have uploaded data from that company, that they have to provide that to you. And then also for the gentleman from Perry, it deals with the ad valorem tax on the ATVs. With that, Mr. Speaker, if there was no questions on House Committee Sub 1, I move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion on the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from McGoffin.
Mr. Speaker, now I would ask the clerk to report House Floor Amendment 2.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 110.
Gentleman from McGoffin.
Mr. Speaker, House Floor Amendment 2 does multiple things here, and I'll go through them very briefly. First thing, Amendment 2 was done for enterprise rental car. It allows owners of vehicles without a lien that they can request a printed title. That was requested by Enterprise. Section 2 amends Section 5. The second thing it does, something the sheriffs asked for. When we added the manufacturer's home in the committee sub, inadvertently we didn't realize, because we just went in and put manufactured home anywhere it said automobiles, that it impacted the ad valorem taxes that the sheriffs collect. So we worked that out where the sheriffs will still get those on the manufactured home. The third thing it does, it eliminates existing language regarding transfer upon death for motor vehicles. And the fourth thing that it does is essentially it takes House Bill 658, which was a good bill that passed unanimously here in the House. We sent over to the Senate, and as typical of the Senate, they cobbled it up, and so we're sending it back over on this bill dealing with agricultural CDLs. So if there's no questions on House Floor Amendment 2, I move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 2. Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 37 for discussion of the floor amendment.
Yeah, I just have a question for the sponsor.
He will yield.
So I was just wanting a little bit more of elaboration about the beneficiary changes.
Gentleman from McGoffin.
The beneficiary changes would create a new section in KRS 189A, establish procedures for the transfer of vehicles on death, and it mirrors Senate Bill 50 that we've already did.
Lady from Jefferson 37.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
He recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41 for 41 for discussion of the amendment.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I have a question for the sponsor.
He will yield.
Thank you, sponsor, for this bill. And would you elaborate a little bit more on 658? You said it had something to do with agriculture, but I didn't hear everything.
Gentleman from McGoffin.
Yes, lady. Thank you for the question. It's the same bill, House Bill 658. It deals with agriculture, limited, the length of limited agriculture CDL driver's license. We passed it unanimously out of the House. They added a bunch of bad stuff on it, and we need it, so we're just putting it on here on this bill.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Of course they did. And can I ask one more question?
He will yield.
Thank you, Mr. It sounds like we're getting into the tech age with the electronic titles. Will the cost be the same, or do they even charge for titles? Or, I can't remember. It's been so long since I bought a car.
Gentleman from McGoffin.
There is a charge on titling. I don't remember seeing any changes on that, but when you purchase a vehicle now, you'll have access to an electronic copy rather than a paper copy. And if you're like me, when I go to sell or trade my car I've lost and I have to call and get a new one mailed to me, now they'll be able to do all that electronically. You could still get a paper copy if you'd like. It's a small fee, less than $20, but everything will be done electronically.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and it sounds like a good deal. Thank you.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 2. Those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 2 is adopted. Gentleman from McGoffin.
Mr. Speaker, if there's no further questions, I would move adoption or passage of Senate Bill 110 as amended by House Committee Sub 1 and House Floor Amendment 2.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 110 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 2. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the gentleman from Knox for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to clear up one point when he was talking about the side-by-sides on the tax. Is there anything retro to go back to refund those when the tax was put in? I know it wasn't intended, but now that we're cleaning it up, is there any way somebody can get a refund from what was paid?
Gentleman from McGoffin.
Thank you, gentleman from Knox. No, the agreement was that this would take effect on January 1 of 2028 and moving forward. It is not retroactive.
Gentleman from Knox.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 110 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 2. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Chair recognizes the lady from Carroll for explanation of vote not to exceed 2 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to explain my vote here. It's unfortunate that my House Bill 658 was tampered with in the Senate. Although the changes that the Senate put on that bill I was very supportive of, it would have brought regional driver's licensing back to the home counties, much needed request that Kentuckians have had. I'm voting no on Senate Bill 110 due to the increased fees in this bill and taxes, and I cannot support that. But I surely wish we would have passed House Bill 658 with the changes from the Senate. Thank you.
Have all members voted? Clerk will take the roll. Being 77 members voting aye, 9 members voting nay, Senate Bill 110 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 2 is passed. Gentleman from McGoffin.
Mr. Speaker, would you ask the clerk to report House Floor Amendment 3, the title amendment?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 3, the title amendment to Senate Bill 110.
Gentleman from McGoffin.
Move adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McGoffin.
Move the clincher, sir.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 291 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 291 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 291, an act relating to recyclers and declaring an emergency. Senator Storm.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield again to the gentleman from McGoffin 92 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from McGoffin for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would you ask the clerk to report House Committee Sub 1, please?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to Senate Bill 291.
Gentleman from McGoffin.
Mr. Speaker, all the committee sub did to this bill was some more compromises between the recyclers and the telecommunication groups. There's no questions of the committee sub. I move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from McGoffin.
Mr. Speaker, Senate Bill 291 modernizes Kentucky's laws for secondary metal recyclers to track down on the growing theft of copper and other critical infrastructure materials that disrupt phone, broadband, utilities, and public safety communications by creating a uniform statewide licensing system, strengthening transaction reporting and enforcement, and focusing on high-risk infrastructure metals. This bill gives law enforcement the tools they need to deter theft, protect critical services, and hold bad actors accountable, while reflecting an agreement between telecommunication providers and the recycling industry. If there's no questions, Mr. Speaker, I would move adoption or passage of Senate Bill 291 as amended by House Committee Sub 1.
Question before the body's passage of Senate Bill 291 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 88 members voting aye, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 291 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1 is passed. Gentleman from McGoffin.
Move the clincher, sir.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
May we stand at ease for one moment, please?
House stand at ease. House come to order. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 192 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that Senate Bill 192 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 192, an act relating to municipal financial reporting. Senator Mays Bledsoe.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I need to yield to the gentleman from Rockcastle 71 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Rockcastle for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 192 is the product of a working group between the Kentucky League of Cities, the Kentucky Society for CPAs, and the Auditor of Public Accounts. Currently within the Commonwealth, we have a shortage of auditors, and that's leading smaller cities to having trouble finding people to come and audit their books. And so this bill is designed to create a set of circumstances that make it easier for smaller cities to get their audits while maintaining that they are being audited. Mr. Speaker, that's what the bill does, but at this time I would like to yield to the gentleman from Lincoln for a friendly floor amendment.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could you have the clerk please call House Floor Amendment 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 192.
Gentleman from Lincoln.
Mr. Speaker, this is a House bill that is being attached that is over in the Senate. It passed this body with no dissenting votes. The only reason that the Senate did not move it is because we were waiting to make sure that all the parties involved were okay with the language. This is the bill that we passed out here that said that if you were going to serve on a fire board that you had to live in the district if you're raising or lowering taxes or doing fees so that they affected you. So that's what this amendment is. So, Mr. Speaker, I would move for adoption of House Floor Amendment 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion of the floor amendment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Rockcastle.
With that, Mr. Speaker, be happy to take any questions, but I move passage of Senate Bill 192 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 192 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. 95 members voting aye, no members voting nay. Senate Bill 192 is amended by House Floor Amendment 1 is passed. Gentleman from Rockcastle.
Mr. Speaker, would you please have the clerk report House Floor Amendment 2, the title amendment?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 192.
Gentleman from Rockcastle.
Move adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Rockcastle.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 20 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, upon its passage.
Motion is made and seconded that Senate Bill 20 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 20, an act relating to city government. Senator Madden.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Metcalf 21 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the lady from Metcalf for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to present Senate Bill 20. This bill makes a simple but important update to Kentucky's voluntary city training incentive program. This is a program that allows cities, if they choose, to encourage both elected and appointed officials to receive training related to their roles and responsibilities and better understand how city government operates. Unlike county governments, there is no mandate here. This is entirely optional, and cities already have the authority to participate. This legislation allows a city to set different base incentive amounts for appointed and elected officials, and it removes the current statutory minimum and maximum amounts so cities can determine what works best for their own budgets. These are small changes, but they give local governments more control and can help encourage continued education and stronger leadership at the local level. Mr. Speaker, before moving passage of Senate Bill 20, I would ask the clerk to report House Floor Amendment 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 20.
Lady from Metcalf.
House Floor Amendment 1 lets local governments purchase reasonably priced used vehicles and equipment without going through the full bid process to save time and taxpayer dollars. This is language from my House Bill 432, which passed the House overwhelmingly earlier this session. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption of House Floor Amendment 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion of the floor amendment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Lady from Metcalf.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to yield to the gentleman from Lincoln for a friendly floor amendment.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the clerk please call House Floor Amendment 3?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 3 to Senate Bill 20.
Gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Senate has asked me to cover my bases on the previous amendment I did on the last bill, so that's the same amendment on this one. So, Mr. Speaker, I would move for adoption of House Floor Amendment 3.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 3. Is there any discussion of the duplicative amendment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 3 is adopted. Lady from Metcalf.
Mr. Speaker, I move passage of Senate Bill 20 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1 and House Floor Amendment 3.
Question before the body is passage of Senate Bill 20 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1 and House Floor Amendment 3. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Clerk will take the roll. There being 95 members voting aye and no members voting nay, Senate Bill 20 is amended by House Floor Amendment 1 and House Floor Amendment 3 is passed. Lady from Metcalf.
Mr. Speaker, please have the clerk report House Floor Amendment 4, the title amendment.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 4, the title amendment to Senate Bill 20.
Lady from Metcalf.
Mr. Speaker, I move the clincher.
Lady from
Adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 4, the title. Those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 4 is adopted. Lady from Metcalf.
Now I move the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that House Rule 51 be suspended to take action on House bills today.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that House Bill 686 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that House Bill 686 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon the floor for its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 686, an act relating to the Kentucky Positive Youth Development Commission. Representative Moser.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Kenton 64 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the lady from Kenton 64 for an explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 686 responds to a growing concern across Kentucky: the rising rates of youth mental health challenges, self-harm, and suicide. This bill provides coordinated community support, clear guidance, and sustainable resources. House Bill 686 establishes a statewide coordinated framework to strengthen youth well-being and reduce suicide and self-harm among Kentucky children and transition-age youth. The bill creates a new commission, defines core terms, and creates a dedicated funding mechanism to support evidence-based, community-focused youth development programming. This will all be done using the social media lawsuit settlement funds. I have worked with behavioral health experts and the Attorney General on this bill and to develop this Positive Youth Development Commission. And at this time, if you could please ask the clerk to report House Floor Amendment 1.
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 686.
Lady from Kenton.
Mr. Speaker, this just removes a duplication of those organizations who can nominate a member to the commission. I move adoption.
Motion made for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Lady from Kenton.
Mr. Speaker, if you could ask the clerk to please report House Floor Amendment 2.
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 2 to House Bill 686.
Lady from Kenton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is an Attorney General clarification, an amendment to clarify the differentiation between statutes that were referenced here in this bill. If there are no questions, I move adoption.
Motion made for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 2. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Floor Amendment 2 is adopted. Lady from Kenton.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to finish up here by saying this bill is in honor of 13-year-old Audrey Heine, who lost her life to suicide after being targeted and bullied on social media. If there are no questions, Mr. Speaker, I move passage of House Bill 686 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1 and House Floor Amendment 2.
Motion made for the passage of House Bill 686 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1 and House Floor Amendment 2. Is there any discussion? The chair recognizes the gentleman from Campbell, 67.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I ask the lady from Kenton a question, please?
She or you?
Thank you. Thank you for this. It sounds like a really great idea. Do you have any sense of the status of these lawsuits, or when this could be funded, or should we be allocating some funding in the interim to get this off the ground?
Lady from Kenton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, gentlemen, for that question. There has been some movement on the settlement, these lawsuits in the recent, actually this week. So I anticipate that there will be a settlement. We don't know exactly what that will be yet.
Gentleman from Campbell.
That's good. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson, 41.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I ask a quick question of the lady? Thank you for this really good bill, and I appreciate it. And the question I had is, you only have, I think, one member required a psychologist specializing in social media addiction. And I know that's really important to have that. Is it possible, as it moves, to add other folks like specializing in, say, domestic violence in the home or rape crisis centers or something like that, to add that? Because I think they would be important too, and they may also be a real integral part of this piece that would specialize in suicide prevention.
Lady from Kenton.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, lady, for that question. I believe that because we have some general behavioral health experts, social workers, psychologists in other areas of the bill, that would be discussed as needed. And really what this does, it creates, it sets up some stakeholder networks down in various regions of the state, and it really gets to those local issues. And so I think as community needs assessments are done through these regional interagency commissions, which deal with behavioral health generally speaking, that they would be able to identify what those needs are locally. But I do appreciate the issue. Mm-hmm.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, lady.
Question before the body is on passage of House Bill 686 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1 and House Floor Amendment 2. Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes. Now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay. And the roll call machine is open for your voting. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 85 members voting yea, 7 members voting nay, House Bill 686 is amended by House Floor Amendment 1 and House Floor Amendment 2 is passed. Lady from Kenton.
Move for clencher.
Without objection, the clencher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 173 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that Senate Bill 173 be taken from its place in the orders today, read for third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 173, an act relating to legislative oversight of the Medicaid state plan and declaring an emergency. Senator Givens.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Kenton 64 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the lady from Kenton for an explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 173 is about accountability, transparency, and responsible stewardship of taxpayer dollars. This legislation establishes a clear annual review of Kentucky's Medicaid and K-CHIP state plans, the very documents that govern how billions in public funds are spent and how care is delivered to our most vulnerable citizens. Right now, major changes to these plans can occur with limited direct legislative oversight. Senate Bill 173 ensures that elected representatives, and by extension the people of Kentucky, have a formal role in reviewing those changes each year. It requires the Department for Medicaid Services to provide current plans and any amendments to LRC for referral to the Medicaid Oversight Advisory Board and the Interim Joint Committee on Health Services so that policymakers can evaluate their impact, improve transparency, and ensure alignment with legislative intent. This is not about slowing down care. It's about strengthening trust, improving oversight, and making sure that our Medicaid program remains effective, efficient, and accountable. Finally, the emergency clause underscores the urgency of this effort. Oversight delayed is oversight denied. Mr. Speaker, if there are no questions, I move passage of Senate Bill 173.
Motion made for the passage of Senate Bill 173. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 35.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the lady yield to a question?
She will yield.
Thank you. Lady, thank you for this bill. I know we discussed this a little bit in committee, but can you remind me what happens when the legislature is not in session, and how do we assure that things are not slowed down while the legislature is not meeting?
Lady from Kenton.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is just an oversight within Medicaid Oversight Advisory Board. It would enable MOAB, as we call it, to make recommendations, and through the regulatory process, I would imagine, be able to just ensure that these are meeting the legislative intent and any other provision that the if it's a block grant, if it's some funding mechanism, that it is meeting the requirements.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you. That's very helpful. That's all.
Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to speak on the bill briefly.
May proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill came through committee, and I did vote no, lady, you remember. And the reasons I did is because we are not Medicaid experts here, and we are very part-time. So we have a cabinet that deals with it, that we pay, that know what they're doing, can respond on an instant, and they usually do when I call them. But I think this is duplicative. I'm afraid it's going to lead to a bureaucracy. It's going to be long waiting times for our Medicaid recipients. And we did just appoint a new cabinet secretary, Steve Slack. And I think we need to give him, Steve Stack, I'm sorry. I've been here a long time, and it's already Christmas. We're loading up these bills like Christmas. Anyway, we have a new cabinet secretary that I really think we need to give time to work through Medicaid, work through the process. He's doing a great job, and I'm sorry, Secretary Stack, that I called you the wrong name. But I will vote no again, and I just think that because we hire experts to do this job, and we are not the experts, we need to leave it to the experts. Thank you.
House stand at each. House come to order. Question for the body is on final passage of Senate Bill 173. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes. Now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay. And the roll call machine is open for your voting. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 74 members voting yea, 16 members voting nay, Senate Bill 173 is finally passed. Lady from Kenton.
Move for clencher.
Without objection, clencher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 85 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that Senate Bill 85 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon the floor for its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 85, an act relating to designating a special needs trust to receive state-administered retirement benefits. Senator Webb.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Carter 96 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Carter for an explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 85 is sponsored by the senator from Carter, my state senator. It's a measure that she has worked on for the last few years. First, I'd like to point out that this measure has been vetted by our pension committees, particularly the Public Pension Oversight Board. Very quick summary on what this measure does. It allows special needs trust to receive state-administered benefits. It would require the 3 state retirement plans, the KPPA, KTRS, and the judicial system to allow members to use this type of trust as a beneficiary. Secondly, would allow payment to be assigned to these trusts. And third, allows beneficiaries of the trust to receive the benefits upon death of the retiree. If there are no questions, I move passage of Senate Bill 85.
Motion made for the final passage of Senate Bill 85. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes. Now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay. And the roll call machine is open for your voting. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 90 members voting yea, no members voting nay, Senate Bill 85 is finally passed. Gentleman from Carter.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, the clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 157 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that Senate Bill 157 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon the floor for its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 157, an act relating to total net income limits on loans secured by a mortgage. Senator Howell.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Jessamine 39 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jessamine for an explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 157 updates Kentucky's mortgage fee law to reflect modern federal consumer protections that are already in place nationwide. This provides more affordable options when it comes to a mortgage, so consumers can pay discount points up front. They can lower their interest rate or reduce monthly payments and save tens of thousands of dollars over time. And if there are no questions, I move for passage of Senate Bill 157.
Motion made for the final passage of Senate Bill 157. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes. Now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay. And the roll call machine is open for your voting. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 89 members voting yea, one member voting nay, Senate Bill 157 is finally passed. Gentleman from Jessamine.
I move the clincher.
Without objection, the clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 116 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that Senate Bill 116 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon the floor for its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 116, an act relating to physician assistants. Senator Madden.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Warren 17 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Warren for an explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please have the clerk report House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 116.
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 116.
This floor amendment simply addresses two drafting errors. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Motion made for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 2. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Floor Amendment 2 is adopted. Gentleman from Warren.
Senate Bill 116 is the result of considerable work by the Kentucky Academy of Physician Assistants, the Kentucky Medical Association, as well as several hospitals. It allows employers to hire and deploy physician assistants more effectively in Kentucky to address patient needs. This bill will allow scope of practice decisions to be made at the practice level through supervising physicians. It also allows physician assistants to prescribe Schedule II medications under strict limitations. This bill will not create independent practice for physician assistants. This bill will significantly enhance physician assistants' ability to meet patients' needs in Kentucky. So, Mr. Speaker, I move passage of Senate Bill 116 as amended by House Floor Amendment 2.
Motion made for the passage of Senate Bill 116 as amended by House Floor Amendment 2. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes. Now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay. And the roll call machine is open for your voting. Suzanne. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 90 members voting yea, 1 member voting nay, Senate Bill 116, as amended by House Floor Amendment 2, is passed. Gentleman from Warren.
Move the clincher.
That objection. Gentlemen, please withdraw your amendment, your motion.
I actually do not have a title amendment because it is unaffected by, House Floor Amendment 2 is unaffected, so.
With that then, without objection, clinchers apply. Lady from Davis.
There you go. Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 122 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that Senate Bill 122 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon the floor for its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 122, an act relating to alternative sentences. Senator Rocky Adams.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Whitley 82 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Whitley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 122, also known as the Family Preservation and Accountability Act, is an act that we passed unanimously last year in the House, and many of you co-sponsored. And upon the recommendation of some circuit court judges, rather than creating a new separate statute related just to caretakers as the original bill did, this bill amends KRS 533.010, which is the current statute that sets forth factors that judges must consider in determining what services a person should receive while on probation and if they should receive probation or be incarcerated. In the last 25 years, Appalachia has struggled greatly with the opioid epidemic, especially the family unit has been affected greatly. In the last 10 or 15 years, we have fought back against the opioid epidemic with great success, including successful programs that implement rehab, inpatient, outpatient, counseling, job training, vocational and educational training. We're looking at adding family classes and parenting classes to that. This act is important because we've seen examples of these programs changing lives of mothers in prison, and we want to offer it before prison on probation. Mr. Speaker, could the clerk please report House Floor Amendment 1?
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 122.
I yield to the gentleman from Jefferson 33 for a friendly floor amendment.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 33.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Floor Amendment 1 puts the provisions of two bills that we've already passed in there. It's House Bill 485, which was unanimously passed in the House, I believe. It is the bill that has to do with mental health civil commitments. That's the amendments to KRS 202A and 202C. And it also has the provisions of House Bill 418, which have to do with domestic relations, which passed this House with one no vote. I would also note that this was approved by the the sponsor in the Senate and also Senate leadership, and so I suggest that it be adopted and put on to Senate Bill 122 to make a good bill very good. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Motion made for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion?
He reported it.
You said you moved to...
Did I? Well, that... I need to listen to myself. Mr. Speaker, if I didn't...
You said you moved to make a good bill better.
That's what I did. That's what I did. I move anyway. Yes, sir.
Motion made for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Whitley.
Mr. Speaker, I truly believe that sometimes folks want to get clean and they want to be parents and they simply don't know how, and this bill will allow them to gain access to that knowledge and ability. I move for passage of Senate Bill 122 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1.
Motion made for the passage of Senate Bill 122 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes, now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay. And the roll call machine is open for your voting. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 83 members voting yea, 7 members voting nay, Senate Bill 122 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1 is passed. Gentleman from Whitley.
Could the clerk please report House Floor Amendment 2?
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 2, the title amendment to Senate Bill 122.
Gentleman from Whitley.
I move for adoption.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Whitley.
I move for the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. House stand at ease. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 19 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that Senate Bill 19 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon the floor for its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 19, an act relating to mushrooms. Senator Madden.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Letcher 94 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Letcher for an explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill will designate the indigo milkcap as the state mushroom of Kentucky. This was brought to us by some students from Letcher County Central High School. This has very little to do with a mushroom, folks. You know, the senator from Bell and I don't care that much about mushrooms, but we care about getting children involved in the legislative process. They've worked hard to get this through, and I believe that after this mushroom becomes our official state mushroom, there will be people going to the hills and hollers of eastern Kentucky to seek out this mushroom. So I think it'll be a boost to tourism. With that, I move passage.
Motion made for the passage of Senate Bill 19. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the gentleman from Rockcastle 71.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And while I have never found the indigo milkcap mushroom, I would have vastly preferred the morel mushroom be the state's official mushroom. But with that, it's probably not a bad bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question for the body is on Senate Bill 19. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes. Now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay. And the roll call machine is open for your voting. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Gentleman from Estill, would you like to explain your vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 85 members voting yea, 3 members voting nay. Senate Bill 19 is finally passed. Gentleman from Letcher.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, the clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that House Bill 885 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that House Bill 885 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon the floor for its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 885, an act relating to cosmetology. Representative Gordon.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to yield to the lady, Madison, the lady for Madison for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Recognizes the lady from Madison for an explanation of the bill and a motion.
Mr. Speaker, House Bill 885 is an omnibus cosmetology bill. The Kentucky Board of Cosmetology is proposing statutory amendments to update and clarify existing language within cosmetology statute. These changes provide technical cleanup to better align statute with current administrative regulations and the evolving needs of the industry. The amendment also addresses emerging practice areas and clarifies services performed within licensed facilities regulated by KBC. The goal of this legislation is to improve clarity, strengthen regulatory consistency, and ensure licensees, schools, and the public are supported by a modern and effective regulatory framework, which this passed out of committee unanimously. Could the clerk please report House Floor Amendment 1?
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 885.
Lady from Madison.
I'd like to yield to the lady from Butler for explanation of the amendment.
Chair recognizes the lady from Butler.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The amendment clarifies that a licensee cannot perform procedures that go beyond the basal layer of the epidermis unless practicing under the direct supervision of a physician or a nurse practitioner. This is agreed upon language between the Cosmetology Board and the Kentucky Board of Nursing. Now I'll yield back to the lady from Madison.
Lady from Madison.
Mr. Speaker, I move for passage of House Bill 885 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1.
Lady, could you move adoption of the floor amendment?
Oh, move adoption.
Motion made for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Gentleman from Jefferson 42, would you like to talk on the amendment or the bill? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Lady from Madison.
Move for passage of House Bill 885 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1.
Motion made for the passage of House Bill 885 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? The chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a quick question for the sponsor.
She with you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Lady, thank you for this bill. Where is she? There she is. Hi. What is the purpose that we are going to require our natural hair braiders now to get a permit when they did not have to in the past?
Lady from Madison.
I was not involved in those discussions, but I did ask the sponsors, and it was agreed upon language, and they were in fact at the committee hearing, and of course that question didn't come up, but they are in support.
Lady from Jefferson.
Can I ask one follow-up question?
She with you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And so the hair braiders were there in support, or the cosmetology board was there in support?
Lady from Madison.
Both.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, lady.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 42.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the lady yield to a question?
She will yield.
Thank you, sir. Lady, thank you for the bill. Also, this may seem like an unconventional question coming from me, but believe it or not, at one point in time in my life, I had very long hair. And it was braided. No pictures, please. No pictures. I just want to clarify a section here that talks about the natural hair braiders, and it's really following up on the lady from Jefferson's point. This bill doesn't apply to hair braiders who braid out of their home. Is that correct?
Lady from Madison.
I know this bill covers more modern practice, so we have cosmetologists that practice in a mobile fashion, and so this covers those settings.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
One more question, if I may.
She will yield.
I'm sorry, lady, for the duplication. I'm looking at the bill that's on my screen right now. I'm on page 18, particularly on line 14. Well, going up to 12, it says, for a person practicing natural hair braiding, this chapter shall not be construed to require, and then it goes down to say, it doesn't require a salon or other facility license if working out of their home. So you don't need a license to braid hair if you're in your house. That's my understanding. Is that correct?
Lady from Madison.
Gentlemen, all I can reiterate is that they were there in attendance at the committee in support of this bill.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Just briefly speak, if I may.
May proceed.
Thank you, sir. I don't have the clarity. Thank you, lady, for answering that to the best of your ability. I don't have the clarity that I'd like to have. Growing up, I had three sisters who were very avid braiders, and again, I promise you all, I did have braids when I was in college. And if that were to happen today, it sounds like my sisters or maybe even my nieces or whatnot would have to have a permit to braid their brothers or their uncles' hair. Hair braiding is a natural, cultural, relevant thing to foundational Black Americans. We've done it all of our lives, and to have a permit to do so in your home just doesn't seem right to me. So if that is where it stands, I don't think I can support the bill. Thank you, sir.
Question for the body is on passage of House Bill 885 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes. Now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay. And the roll call machine is open for your voting. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 64 members voting yea, 18 members voting nay, House Bill 885 as amended by House Floor Amendment 1 is passed. Lady from Madison.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, the clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 170 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion made that Senate Bill 170 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon the floor for its passage. Mr. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 170, an act relating to status offenses. Senator Storm.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the other gentleman birthday boy today from Jefferson 33 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 33 for an explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the gentleman, the senator from Laurel, for working on this bill. We have, over the last year, worked side by side with school superintendents, directors of pupil personnel, lots of folks from the court system and county attorneys, judges, so forth. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to help kids who are truant early on and figure out what's the problem, why are they not going to school, and to get them supports before they get out of hand. We know that truancy is an early predictor of future crime. There's been studies that show that 75 to 85% of people who later on commit serious crime had an issue with habitual truancy as early as third grade. So we're trying to help that. And so one of the things we're doing here is we're transitioning from just a student focused model to a family-focused model. So if there's something that the family has done or can do, then we're trying to get them supports. But also on the back end, if they don't get the job done, then there can be parental accountability as well. So if the problem is transportation or the parents not encouraging students to go to school, then that's part of the solution that we need to have going forward. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I'm going to move now for passage of Senate Bill 170.
Question for the body is on final passage of Senate Bill 170. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, sound the chimes, now proceed to vote. All those in favor, please signify by voting yea on the roll call machine. Those opposed, nay, and the roll call machine is open for your voting. Have all members voted? Would any member like to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 89 members voting yea, 3 members voting nay, Senate Bill 170 is finally passed. Gentleman from Jefferson.
Move clincher.
Without objection, the clincher is applied. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, that concludes the orders of the day.
Next order of business is motions, petitions, communications, and announcements. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 263 be taken from the Committee on Committees, given its first reading, and returned to the Committee on Committees.
Without objection, so ordered. Mr. Clerk, please report.
Senate Bill 263, Senator West, an act relating to education.
Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Senate Bill 198 be taken from the orders of the day and recommitted to the Committee on Veterans and Military Affairs and Public Protection.
Without objection, so ordered. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to go ahead before we get to the end of the day to kind of update everybody. We will adjourn until Tuesday. We will convene at noon on Tuesday, March 31st. But when we get to that point, I just want to give people a heads up before they start scattering. We also have multiple birthdays today and this weekend. The gentleman from Oldham, as already mentioned. Oldham 59, the gentleman from 33. The lady from Callaway has a birthday coming up this weekend, and the gentleman from Rockcastle 71 also has a birthday. So we want to be sure and wish all of them a very happy birthday. And that is all I have at this time.
Chair recognizes the lady from Madison 81.
Would the clerk please report legislative citation 97?
Mr. Clerk, please report.
Citation 97, Representative Gordon. Citation of achievement. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors Eastern Kentucky University.
Lady from Madison.
Mr. Speaker, I am proud and pleased to share outstanding news regarding Eastern Kentucky University's continued leadership in serving those who have served our nation. EKU has been named the #1 large public university in the nation in the 27 military-friendly schools ranking. This national recognition reflects EKU's long-standing commitment to supporting veterans, active duty service members, and their families. With more than 3,200 military-connected students and a comprehensive network of services, including dedicated advising, registration, and Veterans Education and Transit Support Center, EKU continues to lead in helping these students succeed academically, personally, and professionally. There's no greater responsibility than serving those who have served our country. This recognition affirms their commitment and underscores the impact of continued partnership and support from the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and I move for adoption.
Without objection, citation is adopted. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Bourbon 72.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will you please have the clerk call legislative citation 96, please?
Mr. Clerk, please report.
Citation 96. Representative Cook, citation of remembrance. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors former State Representative May Street Kidd.
Gentleman from Bourbon.
Move adoption.
Without objection, citation is adopted. Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would I ask the clerk, or please ask the clerk to report legislative citation number 91.
Mr. Clerk, please report.
Citation 91, Representative Nemus and Representative Marzian. Citation of appreciation. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors Mike O'Connell.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just briefly, our Jefferson County Attorney, Mike O'Connell, is retiring this year. In 2008, he was appointed to serve as Jefferson County Attorney and would go on to be elected to the office in 2010 and reelected for 4 subsequent terms, making him the longest-serving Jefferson County Attorney in history as of August 2024. He has been a fabulous, hardworking Jefferson County Attorney, and he joined the national opioid litigation, resulting in millions of settlement dollars for Louisville and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And that's just one of his many achievements. And I'd like this body and all of us to salute our Jefferson County Attorney, and I move adoption. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Without objection, citation is adopted. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 33.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've talked about birthdays, but we haven't said one, the most important one. Kalia, will you stand up? So today, Mr. Speaker, you know, we become fond of people who work with us. Today, Kalia Watts is 18 years old. So would you join me in making her feel welcome? Kalia, thank you for your work for us.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Bales 87.
I'd like to act on House Resolution 69.
May proceed.
Please have the clerk report House Resolution 69.
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Resolution 69, a resolution commending Taiwan for its deepening relations with the United States and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Representative Bowling.
Gentleman from Bale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And it's been my honor the past 4 or so years to serve as the House co-chair of the Kentucky-Taiwan Caucus. I'd like to congratulate the gentleman from Hopkins who will be stepping into that role as the House co-chair along with the gentleman from Fayette 72. This resolution simply honors the connection between our Commonwealth and the nation of Taiwan. This year marks both the 250th anniversary of the United States independence and the 30th anniversary of Taiwan's first direct presidential election. Taiwan ranks as Kentucky's 20th largest export market, with Kentucky exporting $328 million in trade goods to Taiwan, while Taiwan ranks as Kentucky's 3rd largest import source. Foxconn Technologies, the American subsidiary of Taiwan-listed Foxconn Technology, will locate its first United States manufacturing operation in Louisville with a $173 million investment that will create 180 new jobs. Once again, we've had a great relationship with Taiwan, a lot of trade. I know they stepped up a lot during COVID and provided essential medical devices and things to the United States. They've also supported us in times of tornado and flood, and they've been a good partner for us. So with that, I move adoption of House Resolution 69.
Without objection, the resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Bullitt, Chair of the Enrollment Committee, for an Enrollment Committee report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Enrollment Committee has met and found the following bills to be in order and ready for your signature. Senate Bill 19, Senate Bill 85, Senate Bill 157, Senate Bill 173, and Senate Bill 343.
Thank you, gentleman from Bullitt. Chair is about to sign Senate Bill 343. Chair is about to sign Senate Bill 19. Chair is about to sign Senate Bill 85. Chair is about to sign Senate Bill 157. The chair is about to sign Senate Bill 173. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Johnson, 97.
Thank you, Speaker. I'd like to communicate with the body.
May proceed.
Thank you, Speaker. On Tuesday, we will have a special called VMAP meeting at 10 o'clock in room 169 at 10 o'clock on Tuesday. Thank you, Speaker.
Members take note. Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson, 44.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could you have citation 95 called?
Mr. Clerk, please report.
Citation 95, Representative Chester Burton. Citation of appreciation. The House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Kentucky hereby recognizes and honors former State Representative Joni Jenkins.
Thank you.
Lady from Jefferson.
Former State Representative Joni Jenkins, I would like to recognize during the 2026 regular session of the Kentucky General Assembly for her years of exemplary service as a vital member of this body, where she most aptly represented the interests of the House District 44 and the citizens of Jefferson County from 1995 until 2022. During her tenure in the House, she became the first woman to lead a caucus when she served as minority floor leader from 2019 till 2022. A graduate of the University of Kentucky, Rep. Jenkins began her career in local government by serving with Jefferson County Attorney. She would go on to the work with the Jefferson County Government Personnel Department and the Police Merit Board, worked in violence against women programming at the Center for Women and Families, and began and led the Peace Program at the University of Louisville. She currently serves as the senior advisor to U.S. Representative Morgan McGarvey. Over the course of her year in public service, she has earned a stellar reputation among her constituents and colleagues as a visionary leader of tremendous warmth, integrity, and courage, and as an outspoken supporter of women and minority groups. Insomuch as former State Representative Joni Jenkins is a public servant in the highest caliber who has continually utilized her time, talent, and resources for the betterment of her community and in the lives of its residents, the members of this distinguished body are deeply honored to join Representative Chester Burton in offering her sincere commendation in gratitude for her years of service, of exemplary service, and extending to her best wishes for future success and good fortune as she continues to labor so diligently in the interest of the common good. Move adoption.
Without objection, citation is adopted.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Fayette, 77.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Since we're at the end of Women's History Month, I'd like to do a Women's History moment.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Shirley Chisholm. Shirley Chisholm became the first African-American congresswoman in 1968. 4 years later, she became the first major party black candidate to make a bid for the U.S. presidency. Who was Shirley Chisholm? Shirley Chisholm is best known for becoming the first black congresswoman in 1968, representing New York State in the U.S. House of Representatives for 7 terms. She went on to run for the 1972 Democratic nomination for the presidency, becoming the first major party African-American candidate to do so. Throughout her political career, Chisholm fought for education opportunities and social justice. Chisholm left Congress in 1983 to teach. She died in Florida in 2005. Early years of her career, Chisholm was born Shirley Anita St. Hill on November 30th, 1924, in a predominantly black neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. Chisholm spent part of her childhood in Barbados with her grandmother. After graduating from Brooklyn College in 1946, she began her career as a teacher and went on to earn a master's degree in elementary education from Columbia University. Chisholm served as director of the Hamilton-Madison Child Care Center from 1953 to 1959 and as an educational consultant for New York City's Bureau of Child Welfare from 1959 to 1964. In 1968, Chisholm made history by becoming the United States' first African-American Congresswoman, beginning the first of 7 terms in the House of Representatives. 1972 presidential campaign. Chisholm went on to make history yet again, becoming the first African-American and the second woman to make a bid for the U.S. presidency with a major party when she ran for the Democratic nomination in 1972. In announcing her bid, Chisholm said, "I am not the candidate of Black America, although I am Black and proud. I am not the candidate of the women's movement of this country, although I am a woman. And I am equally proud of that. I am the candidate of the people, and my presence before you now symbolizes a new era of American political history." I think it's got, my notes are a little off. So I'd like to bring to this body's attention Miss Shirley Chisholm, a proud African-American who was the first African-American female to run for President of the United States. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, gentlemen. Time has expired. The motions, petitions, communications, and announcements. Next order of business is introduction of new resolutions. Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Resolution 132, Representative Osborne, a resolution recommending that a permanent statue of Mitch McConnell be placed in the new state capitol rotunda.
Next order of business is a meeting of Committee on Committees and the Rules Committee. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House be in recess for a meeting of the Committee on Committees and the Rules Committee at the clerk's desk.
I shall stand in recess for a meeting of the Committee on Committees and Rules Committee at the clerk's desk. House come to order. The next order of business is the report of Committee on Committees and the Rules Committee. Mr. Clerk, please report.
The Rules Committee has met and posted the following bills and resolutions to the regular orders for Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. Senate Bills 27, 37, 68, 127, 136, 189, and 197. Also, the Rules Committee has met and posted the following bills and resolutions to the concurrence orders for Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. House Bills 7, 58, 96, 134, 185, 213, 220, 253, 265, 280, 290, 355, 424, 456, 459, 470, 555, 562, 576, 622, 648.
Did everything, Gary? Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Those bills referred by the Committee on Committees shall be considered eligible for consideration and action by committee at the discretion of the committee chair. Next order of business is the introduction of floor amendments. Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 3 to Senate Bill 8, Representative Petrie. House Floor Amendment 3 to Senate Bill 50, Representative Elliott. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 52, Representative Johnson. House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 52, Representative Hancock. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 66, Representative Fleming. House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 66, Representative Fleming. House Floor Amendment 4 to Senate Bill 124, Representative Payne. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Bill 197, Representative Upchurch. House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 197, Representative Bray. House Floor Amendment 2 to Senate Bill 251, Representative Tipton. House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Concurrent Resolution 9, Representative Moser. And House Floor Amendment 1 to Senate Joint Resolution, Representative Miles.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The next order of business is adjournment. Lady from Davis.
Mr. Speaker, I move the House shall stand adjourned until 12 p.m. Tuesday, March 31st, the year of our Lord, 2026.
Without objection, the House will stand adjourned until 12 p.m. Tuesday, March 31st, year of our Lord, 2026.